The Peregrine Fund figured out that you could condition birds to nest these platforms, which are basically it's like a square platform with a similarly square roof up on a post or more than one post, and with bars, vertical bars around the perimeter. I think three sides, but too narrow for birds, larger birds like caracaras or great horned owls or red-tailed hawks or white-tailed hawks to enter, but big enough so that Aplomado falcons could enter. So a real simple solution. It's interesting to kind of contrast the situation in South Texas with what you have in eastern Mexico and tropical Mexico, where most of the nests they use, falcons don't build their own nests. They're dependent upon other birds that build stick nests. Or in eastern Mexico, they can nest in bromeliads, these big arboreal, they've got really lush bromeliads. I think rarely they nest on cliffs if they can find a stick platform there. But they're very dependent upon these nest sites that they don't make. And in the tropics, they can find suitable nest sites pretty high off the ground. They can tropical live oaks and other tree species. We had some nesting of big silk cottons that were probably old rainforest trees, left standing by themselves out in the pasture. You'd have a nest, 40 feet off the ground, or there was one I climbed up to in, right on the banks of the Rio Usumacinta, where Campeche and Tabasco come together. It was on the top of like a 40-foot tall fan palm. And, no ground predator is going to be able to do much with a nest like that. But in Texas, you've got, at one point, they were finding nests literally in shrubs, a foot or two off the ground on Matagorda Island, and are low in mesquites in a stick nest built by another species, like a white-tailed kite or a Harris hawk or something, or in a yucca. And it turned out the nest in yuccas have real low predation rates. The other nests have high predation rates. And so you kind of get an indication of what might be a limiting factor there at the northern limit of the distribution. And then you surmount that problem with an artificial nest sites that eliminates at least essentially all forms of predation of nestlings.